19th of May, Rabbi Furst, Ruth.
Good morning, Lou.
Good morning, Roy. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
Baruch Hashem, doing well.
Judy?
Yeah, thank God. How is Chana?
Baruch Hashem.
Great. How's your grandchild?
She's not doing too badly. She goes to school, a special school. Not every, not I think not every day, not the whole day, but she goes, and she loves it.
Great.
Yeah.
She's improved. Her health is improving, or it's stable.
Stable. It wasn't an improvement. She's more or less with it. She finds it hard to express herself. Yeah, she says quite interesting things from time to time. The mother's got a website, not a website, an SMS thing for the family of the things that she says or does.
Oh, she texts you little excerpts from what your granddaughter says?
Yeah.
Okay, recording in progress. Good morning.
Good morning, Barry.
Good morning.
Morning. We are all good.
Okay, good morning. Yeah. Okay, good morning, everyone. Good to see
Good
you all.
morning, Rabbi Furst.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, Barry. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Roy. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning to everyone. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Tamanavshi, here in Yerushalayim Care Zoom. This is our first year. We're learning Megillas Ruth. We're in the third parak. And we left off with which pasuk? Just remind me. I think pasuk.
Well, we're up to 14, but you said you might want to review 13 again, I thought.
Yeah, let's just read over 13 just to get a running start. That's a good idea. Yeah, who would like to read this morning to start off with?
It's my turn.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Lini halayla v'haya b'boker im gig alech tov gig al v'im lo yachotz v'galech u'ge'al tich anochi chai Hashem shivvi ad haboker. Okay, so stay tonight, and it will be in the morning. If he will redeem you, good. He will redeem you. And if he does not want to redeem you, I will redeem you.
Right.
As the Lord lives, lie until the morning.
Right.
If he wanted to be careful, he would have told her to go home. You know, they had their conversation and they made the arrangements. He made his promises. So what's the point of her staying over? That's, that could be, a Marazion.
Oh, so I think the next pasuk takes care of that, Barry. Take a look at the next pasuk, number 14.
V'tishkav mar gelosav ad haboker, but takam, but beterim yakir ish es re'ehu vayomer al yivada ki va'a ha'ish hagored. Okay, so she lay at his feet until morning. Then she got up, and before a man could recognize his friend, he said, "Do not let it be known that a woman came to the threshing floor."
Right.
So she
So-
got up when it was still very early before anybody could see.
Oh, you see, Barry? See, what was the-
No, that even reinforces my point. She's going to be leaving early in the morning before it gets light out, right?
Right,
So that no one would know she was there.
right.
So leave it. So leave, at that 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So
What's the gain? She's leaving in the dark anyway. So leave in the dark and don't lay down next to an unmarried man.
I'm just guessing. I don't know, but maybe there'd be more of a chance to be seen at midnight rather than in the early morning hours. If she
That's
was
actually a good point. In the early morning hours, people are going to work. So somebody walking along would not be out of place, whereas at 2 in, if somebody saw someone walking along, they'd say, "What's going on? Why is she walking at 2 in?"
Yeah, but at 2 in the morning, there's nobody out.
Yeah, but if if there would be someone out, they'd really be suspicious. What's this woman wandering around in the middle of the night?
Yeah, but she had no problem. She had no problem sneaking around at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock, whenever it was, to get there. Right? She did that. So
Yeah, again, that's the time people are around. That's the time people are returning home from the marketplace. That's when she went.
Yeah, it could be
she would be seen.
Well, it would be early enough in the early in the evening that it wouldn't be so suspicious. Could be, because again, he was Boaz. It said that Boaz, he ate and he drank, right? He was eating and drinking, and I think, didn't we see that there was some mention. Yeah, we saw some mention that she went to see where he was lying down, right? And then she would know where to be able to come back and find him there later on in the evening. So, and that apparently wasn't suspicious. That apparently wouldn't raise any suspicions. Right?
But
she
also,
came-
that tells us that the time was the time when they were still working. But it was early enough that it wasn't suspicious that she was walking around.
Right. So in the early evening, that wouldn't be such a suspicion. But now already in the middle of the night, right? And after all, he already went to sleep. He woke up in the middle of the night sometime, right?
No, not so late. It was midnight.
Yeah, do we know it was midnight? It's, yeah.
Vayehi b'chatzi halayla,
Right, Hetzi Laila.
vayechered ha'ish. So
Right.
that was at midnight. So, you know,
Right,
there's
so,
going to be people around. I don't know. I mean, it's
well, the only people are around in the middle of the night are the troublemakers.
you trying to
So-
tell me something?
Yeah, so it could be that she could have gotten herself in trouble being wandering around in the middle of the night. You know, the people, you know, the creme de the creme are not going to be hanging around doing things in the middle of the night. Most good people, most wholesome people are going to be sleeping at that hour of that hour of the night.
Yeah, I hear.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but a good point, Barry. That and in the morning, maybe like Lou said, that in the morning people are already up and about, so it's not people won't know, is she coming, is she going, is she staying, what's going on with it. They wouldn't raise too many eyebrows, perhaps. Although
Mhm.
it does say that she got up early enough that that no one should really find out about her, right?
Right. In other words, she's getting up. She's getting up before anyone could recognize their fellow. So it's pretty, you know, it's pretty dark and pretty deserted. And if anyone's going to see her, they're not going to know, they're not going to recognize who it is. So she could accomplish that, you know, after they finish their arrangement.
Yeah. She wouldn't be recognized as who she was. It would be it's also too dark still that people would recognize her.
Right.
Although, yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, I guess Boaz had good reason. I'm sure his motive was to protect her.
Right.
He was, you know, he was caring for her safety and her reputation. So I guess he knew best when, you know, for her to
Mhm.
stay around.
Right. Right. Okay.
And I guess he couldn't tell her to go sleep with the girls because then they would wonder what she was doing there.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
Okay.
Okay, one second. I'm just trying to quote him more about but Tanya says Ashkamasam Vahalachtam Ladarkam. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's continue on.
Vayomer Havi Ha Mit Hachas Asher Alayich Ve'echazi Va Vatom Vatochez Ba Vayamad Shesh Seorim Vayashes Aleha Vayavo Ha'ir. So he said, bring the kerchief that is on you and hold it. And she held it, and he measured 6 barley corns and set it upon her, and she went to the city.
I've got here, he went. Maybe it's she.
Oh, he went. Vayavo, okay, he went to the city.
Okay. Okay, 1 second. So what's this?
Yeah, this supports the theory. The commentary says, to keep her visit to the threshing floor secret, Boaz asked Ruth to remove her kerchief and to carry home a heavy load of grain so that anyone seeing her leave would take her for a man returning from work with his pickings.
Ah,
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
About those 6 barleys
Yeah.
in the Judaica commentary, it says it's impossible to say 6 saw because it is not customary for a woman to carry such a heavy load. It refers literally to 6 barley corns. And he hinted to her that a son who would be blessed with 6 blessings was destined to emerge from her. So according to the Judaica, he actually gave her 6 barley corns.
Right. And what was the significance of that?
Because the 6 blessings were destined to emerge from her. The 6 blessings were wisdom, understanding, counsel, and heroism, a spirit of knowledge and fear of the Lord. In Ruth Rabbah, there is another view that he hinted to her that 6 righteous men would emerge from her, each of whom would be blessed with 6 blessings. These righteous men are David, Hezekiah, Yeshua, Josiah, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, Daniel, and Mashiach.
was that 6?
Oh, so he says that's more than 6, but he says Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah are counted as 1 because they are all equal in their exemplary traits.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I have a comment from Sanhedrin that lists this 6, similar to you. It says David, the Mashiach, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah from Sanhedrin 93a.
Very good.
Okay.
There's another opinion that he gave her a 1/6 of a seh, which is a cob. This measure was called the shesh. The law is that one must give a poor man traveling from place to place no less than a loaf of bread containing half a cob. Boaz therefore gave Ruth a cob, which would suffice for breakfast for both of them. I guess both of them meaning her and Naomi. By doing this, he let them know that they would not need the evening meal because by that time, he would already have settled the matter of the redemption. Mhm.
Okay.
I'm still confused. This
Oh, you know
redemption,
what?
is it the land or is it Rus? What is the Roy mentioned that
Right.
that Naomi owned the land and that it was up to them to redeem the land.
She was going to sell it.
Right? She wanted to sell it.
Says so in the
Yeah.
next chapter.
So that's the redemption. So I still don't understand why are they throwing Rus into the package deal? You know, it's like what is the what's the impelling reason that she has to be included? She wasn't legally married to anybody prior, so there's no yibum or anything like that.
Yeah, so, yeah,
I don't,
that's right, that's a general question. And if it had to do with the land, what did Ruth have to do with the whole point over here?
exactly. It's not clear what the connection is. Obviously, there is one, but the Megillah doesn't make it clear.
Right.
So one quick comment about V'yavo Ha'ir, and he went to the city. This is a midrash apparently. Surely it should have stated that she went into the city, yet it says he went to the city. It teaches that he accompanied her lest she be molested.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
when Blue said she, he was actually correct.
Uh-huh.
See that?
Yeah,
1 point for Lou.
that's right. That's
Thank you, Mayor. I need my defenders.
Okay, you're welcome.
okay. Don't relax yet. Don't relax yet.
Weiter?
Yeah, let's continue on.
So Tet's line.
Vatavo el chamosa, vatomer mi at biti vataged la ace kol asher asa la haish. Okay, so she came to her mother-in-law who said, "Who are you, my daughter?" She told her
Right.
everything that the man had done for her. Everything, she told her everything that the man had done for her.
Right.
So what is this? Who are you?
Mhm.
That she says BT, so she knows who it's Ruth.
The translation here is, how do things stand with you, my daughter?
Oh, me at. How does things stand with you? I guess
Right.
meaning are you married? She's asking, did you get married?
Well, I'm not sure.
Hmm. Yes, it says here, how do things stand with you, my daughter? Literally, is what you said, Lou. Who are you, my daughter? The translation follows the Midrash. Did she then not recognize her? Yes, but she meant, are you still a maiden or a married woman? She answered, a maiden, and she told her all that the man had done for her. And Midrash Lekach Tov offers the above commentary and also suggests that perhaps it was still dark and Naomi didn't recognize her.
Yes, that's the plain meaning, that she didn't recognize her plainly, or she was asking, as the Medrash says, whether she was now married or not married.
Hmm.
Well, and how could she be married by just going to Boaz?
Well, you can be Kaddish with Bia, you can be Kaddish with with marital relations. That's okay.
Hmm.
That would be acceptable.
So that was one of Boaz's options?
That could have been an option, yes. But I think he wanted to give the opportunity to the goyal closest beforehand. All right.
Mhm. Okay. It says.
Yeah, yeah.
It says earlier, but a commentary on Pasuk Yud Aleph, when he says he calls her my daughter, it says, since he could not perform the Levirate rite until he consulted the closer relative, he was concerned that she might fear that he did not wish to perform the rite at all. He said, so therefore he said to her, and now my daughter, do not fear that I am pushing you off with a straw, that I do not wish to marry you. So what is this Levirate marriage? I mean, I still don't see where it's correct to call this a Levirate marriage.
Yeah, why not?
Because she was not married to the two brothers legally.
Yeah. So right.
So what's the connection? So they have no Levirate obligation to her at this point. She's a new person when even if she might not even be converted, but when she gets converted, she's a new person. She has no connection to previous relationships.
Right.
In other words, if a woman, if a Jewish man was married to a non-Jewish woman, and she converts, right? They have to get married.
Right.
The previous marriage has no meaning whatsoever.
Yeah, but okay, very good. But let's say you have this Jewish man, and he gets married to a non-Jew.
Right.
So you have Chaime, and he's getting married to Mary.
Right.
He gets married to Mary, and Chaime has a brother. He has a brother, right? Plony, and so Chaime marries Mary, and then Chaime dies, and then Mary wants to convert, so she converts.
Mhm.
Is there any thought that maybe the Yibun should be done with Chaime and his ex Mary?
No, because it was not a legal marriage.
Right. So this is an example of what the Megillus Ruth is trying to teach us. The Megillus was trying to teach us that the basis for what's going on here is not strictly based on halacha, right? On halacha. If you try and use a halachic analysis of the Megillah, it's going to be very difficult, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but
I don't get the point of that, Rabbi. I mean, the halacha is everything to us.
Right, but what? Remember what are the first words of the Megillah?
I'm sorry?
Megillah Esther, Megillah Rus, how does it start off? What's the first words of the Megillah Rus?
Vayehive me shofet hashoftim.
Yeah, what does it mean? Shofet Shoftim?
Means that when the judges judged.
Yeah, that's the pashtus meaning. But that what else? What else are the judges supposed to be doing? What do you mean that when the judges were judging? Of course, a judge judges.
Yeah.
It's like saying in the days when the dentists were drilling. What do you mean the dentists were drilling? The dentists always are drilling. That's what they're supposed to do. It's when the days when the tailors were sewing. What do you mean the days when the tailors were sewing? Tailors sew.
So the alternate meaning is that the judges were being judged by the people.
Right. Which means what?
When a
But
judge
they
tried to
weren't
make a
behaving.
judgment, the defendant, the person who was judged to be in the wrong would accuse the judge of wrongdoing.
Right.
Yeah, well, how does that help? How does that help anything with Rus's status?
Because the whole status of halacha was being challenged at that time. Right, according to the second understanding of what it means, the whole status of halacha was under question and under scrutiny.
So are you saying that the antidote to the fact that the halacha was not being followed is for the leaders to not follow it?
No, I'm not saying that's the antidote. I'm saying that could have been part of the scenario here. Built into the whole scenario was this whole environment of lack of respect for halacha.
Good. So, but what does that? All the more so that they should have been careful about concerning Rus. I mean, if it's the days of the judges who were not doing such a great job of, I mean, what's the purpose? The purpose of the judges is to teach the people correct behavior, right? They're supposed to say, well, this is the correct way we're supposed to behave. So the fact that the judges are not judging properly, they're misbehaving, like Lou said. So all the more so that they should be wary of a person like Rus.
I don't think it's that the judges were not behaving properly. I think it's that the people were not behaving properly. The people weren't listening to the judges. They weren't following what the judges said. They're making excuses. Oh, you're no good. Why should I listen to you? You're just as bad as anything.
Well, 1 second. Uh, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Yeah, that the says the Malbim brings down on that first pasuk, right? On pasuk Aleph, Perak Aleph, he says brings down there's another pasuk in Shoftim. Yemei Mahem Ein Melech Israel. There was no king in Israel. V'ish Yasher Beinav Yasin. Everyone did what he thought was right in his eyes.
Right.
So So that's the environment which this whole situation is taking place.
The Yachamin Loa says, if a judge would point out a small offense committed by a Jew, the Jew would point out a worse offense committed by the judge. If the judge, if the judge rebukes someone for an obvious wrongdoing, the man would reply that the misdeeds of the judge were equally grave, although harder to detect. And if he was chastised for sinning in private, he would retort that the judge had sinned in public. So okay, so there's a question of what's going on with being judged, but still, how does that exonerate Ruth?
It's not going to exonerate. No, it's not going to exonerate her whatsoever. But you see that the laws were not being exactly followed in the proper way.
Right. Okay, but
the whole situation which gave rise to this situation with Ruth was also could be a symptom of that as well.
the only way out is to say that she was Megayer in Moab.
That's the
Okay.
other.
That's the only way. I mean, that's the only way to say that she deserves redemption. That someone has to marry her, right? I mean, the fact that people are misbehaving or not misbehaving is one thing, but there is halacha, and the halacha is that she has to be Megayer to have a legitimate marriage. So if she was not Megayer in Moab, Boaz and anybody else has no obligation to redeem her for Yibum or whatever.
Right.
I mean, can't have it both ways.
Yeah. It was.
I mean, the halacha.
That's the whole symptom of what's going on here. This whole situation with Ruth is a symptom of what's going on here. That there was no rule at the time. There was no real halacha at the time. There's no real rule at the time.
Well, there was halacha. It's just that it wasn't known.
Well, it wasn't known. It wasn't even followed.
And it wasn't followed, right? But okay, but even so, even if you say that a Moabite woman is what was not known was the fact that a Moabite woman could convert. A male couldn't, but a female.
In all cases they could convert, but they couldn't marry.
But they couldn't marry. Okay, they couldn't marry.
And that's the whole question is really on the marriage. If there was no real marriage, that's the whole question. We always come back to the same central question. If there was no real marriage, then there should be no real yibum. So what's going on here? There's all a charade here. What's going on?
Yeah, that's my question.
Well, I mean, the Yibum question is even more bizarre because he's not the brother.
Well, it could be the closest relative. I mean, if the brothers aren't there, I guess it falls on.
The halacha doesn't say anything about the closest relative. It says the brother.
Right.
Yeah, well, that makes it even more questionable.
Right.
Right. All right. Look, that is a question which has not been fully addressed yet, to our satisfaction. So we'll have to keep looking for a satisfactory answer. Barry and Lou, when we get a satisfactory answer, you're gonna have to let us know, right?
Well, if Barry and I agree, then we know for sure that it's satisfactory. Okay, weiter.
Okay, let's
V'tomer
go ahead.
Hasirim ha'ela nasan li ki amar elai al tavo'i rekam el hamotech. Hamosech. Okay, and she said, these 6 barley corns he gave to me for, he said to me, do not come empty to your mother-in-law. That kind of contradicts what the commentary said, that the reason was that she would appear to be a worker. This says the reason is he didn't want her to come empty to her mother-in-law.
Right. Well, there could be, obviously, it could be more than one reason why it was done.
Right?
We don't have to limit ourselves to one specific reason.
He's,
Right.
he's sending her a symbol, a hint.
Yeah, because don't forget, Naomi and Boaz were communicating it. I imagine Boaz and Naomi were communicating about this, no?
I guess. So many things going on in the background we don't know.
That's right. Right. Um, Do not go empty-handed. So what was the big deal?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Rabbi.
Yeah, what was the big deal? What's the big deal that she would come back without anything there? What's Boaz so concerned about this for?
What is known, because the whole point was that Ruth was supposed to come back with a resolution of who's going to marry her and who's redeeming the land. So Boaz is coming back with, Ruth is coming back with an answer.
It says in my commentary, Naomi might well have taken the grain for a sign that Boaz did not intend to redeem Ruth. For if she were about to enter this house, why is he sending provisions to her house?
Say that again, Lou?
If it wasn't for the fact that he said to her, this is for your mother-in-law, she might have thought that he was saying, I'm not going to redeem you, so I'm going to give you this little gift instead of redeeming you.
Maybe. Could be. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what, it's a little bit late. Okay, let's stop here. We'll try and review these last two. These are the last two psukim in the third parak, right?
Right.
Let's review these two tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Erev Shabbos, right? Tomorrow's Erev Shabbos. So on Yom Rishon, make a point that we'll start again with the 17th and 18th, the last two psukim. We'll try and review these.
Okay, sounds good.
maybe it would be, okay. And, yeah, tomorrow, if anyone's interested, I guess 9:30 on Parshas Shavua, Chumash, 9:30 tomorrow.
Great.
Bez Hashem, bli neder.
Amen.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Rabbi First. See you
Roy, have a
tomorrow.
good
Miss.
afternoon. Hope to see you tomorrow if you like, and if not on Yom Rishon. And do I still have to send something out for the newsletter, right?
Yeah, please. It's very late.
Yeah. I can maybe do it during this break now.
All
I
right.
have it all ready to go. I got busy yesterday, didn't have a chance to.
Appreciate it very much.
See you
Yeah.
later.
Okay, very good.
Have a good
Everyone,
day,
guys,
Roy.
we'll soon start again.
Hey, see you later, Roy.
Okay. See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.